Welcome back, everyone. I am here with episode 1 of White Jade.
The story begins with a glimpse into the Song family, who will be the central focus of this episode. We see that the Songs reside in a small, modest place called Shanxi Village. Don't let the location fool you, though. This is a massive clan, easily on par with the legendary 9 great families. They have maintained immense prestige here for over 100 years. In fact, the clan once boasted a legendary hero who happens to be our protagonist's grandfather. Right now, we see Master Song Bojong, the current patriarch of the family. He is out in the courtyard training the younger generation, and the children of the Song family are diligently practicing their moves in Shanxi. The Song family is incredibly prominent and powerful of the 3 major clans in the region. The Song name holds a terrifying amount of weight. As Master Song Bojong stands before them directing the training, it's clear that this family has no shortage of martial masters. Every single rising star and disciple among them is a phenomenal swordsman. That isn't what worries the patriarch. No, Master Bojong has one specific problem weighing heavily on his mind, a constant source of frustration: his second son. He has 2 sons. The elder son is already an exceptional martial master, but his second son, Song Baek, is absolutely hopeless when it comes to cultivation and swordsmanship. Granted, the boy is only 7 years old. As little Baek tries to practice, his father walks up to him completely exasperated. "What on earth have you been eating?" he yells. "You still can't get it right. How many times do I have to tell you? You can't even stand in a proper stance." Overwhelmed, the little boy bursts into tears. Dad, I can't do this anymore. How am I supposed to keep up with them? Everyone else is older than me, and I just can't get it right." His father fires back angrily. "What kind of nonsense is that? You are a child of the Song family. The Song family is a lineage of martial masters. Have you forgotten the legendary deeds of your grandfather? You must do this." Seeing this play out, the other disciples, whispering among themselves, begin to feel bad for the boy. They think the patriarch is being far too harsh. After all, the kid is only 7. Putting that much pressure on a 7-year-old just doesn't seem right. But then one of them points out, "Hey, look over there instead. Look at Song Jong. Look how flawlessly he's practicing." Even though Song Jong is only 3 years older than his little brother, he has already completely mastered the family's signature sword techniques. Every time he swings his blade, you can feel the raw power of a true martial master in the making. Another disciple chimes in: "At such a young age, that boy has already mastered the Song family's 4 emblems art mark. My words, it won't be long before he masters the 3 classics military tactics as well. Once he does, he'll be performing our ultimate techniques just as brilliantly as his father. He is absolutely perfect to become the next patriarch. With just a few more years of hard work, he'll easily become the family successor and take his father's place." He sighs, looking back at the younger brother. But look at the second son. Poor thing can't even lift his sword properly. Hopefully in a few years, he'll start taking things seriously too. Suddenly, another disciple murmurs warningly, "Hey, if the patriarch keeps screaming at the second son like that, you know who's gonna show up, right? Even the patriarch won't survive her wrath." Meanwhile, poor little Baek is trembling in fear as his father continues to roar at him in a furious rage. "Fix your stance right now and stop crying. Do exactly as I say." Just then, a sharp, commanding voice cuts through the courtyard from behind. A lady steps out and snaps, "That is enough. What do you think you are doing?" The moment the patriarch turns around and sees her, his anger completely vanishes. She is glaring at him with pure fury, and just like that, the mighty patriarch freezes in his tracks, terrified. Why is this powerful warrior suddenly shaking in his boots? Simple, the ultimate power of a wife. Her glare is so intense that the patriarch literally takes a step back, thoroughly intimidated. Seizing the moment, little Baek runs as fast as his legs can carry him and buries his face in his mother's robe, sobbing. Trying to save face, the father protests. "What are you doing? If you keep coddling him like this and stepping in to shield him every single time, he is never going to become a proper martial master." The madame glares at him even harder. Baek is only 7 years old. What do you expect from a 7-year-old child? Do you honestly expect him to be a grandmaster like Jong right now? He will become a master when he grows up, just like his brother. Can't you see the poor child out here practicing in the blistering heat of the afternoon sun? And all you can do is stand here and scream at him. But he needs discipline. The father argues, "I started learning when I was 7. My father began training me at exactly his age." She fires right back. "Oh, so now you want to treat your own son the way your father treated you? Jong is right over there practicing, isn't he? Why are you so obsessed with forcing your second son to be a martial master too? I refuse to let you turn my youngest boy, my sweet Baek, into another version of his older brother. Just look at Jong. His own mother is standing right here and he hasn't even glanced this way. He's so obsessed with his sword that he completely ignores his mother. Look what you've done to my beautiful child. You've turned him into a martial arts robot who does nothing but practice all day long." While they are arguing, Songjong finishes his routine and sheathes his sword. He looks over at his parents who are still going at it tooth and nail. He sighs internally. Sigh, here they go again, fighting over my little brother's terrible practice habits. Interestingly, Baek doesn't harbor any jealousy or regret about not being a prodigy like his older brother. He actually prefers it this way. He wants a carefree, relaxed life. Meanwhile, his older brother is perfectly content dedicating himself to his training. For the most part, their lives are peaceful and moving along quite well. But the scene shifts to the dead of night, hinting that everything is about to change. Outside, a violent storm has rolled in. Torrential rain pours down, and lightning flashes across the sky. Master Song is up in his room, looking out at the weather deep in thought. Why did it suddenly start raining like this? This storm is intense. I have a bad feeling that something strange is about to happen. He sighs. If it keeps raining like this tomorrow, I'll have to cancel the kids' training. I won't be able to teach them. Then a sudden wave of self-reflection hits him. I spend all my time lecturing my kids about training, but truth be told, I've been neglecting my own. It has been so long since I last trained properly. His eyes drift to the side of the room, landing on a weapon resting in its stand. This is the White Jade sword, the very blade that serves as the foundation of our entire story. Looking at it, he mutters, "It really has been ages since I practiced with this sword. I think it's finally time to pick it up again and polish my skills." He lifts the legendary weapon and steps out to practice. Now make no mistake, Master Song is an incredible martial arts grandmaster. He isn't some low-level warrior. He is profoundly powerful, and his sheer strength is the sole reason the Song family is so deeply respected by all the other clans. As he unsheathes the blade and begins his forms, a mesmerizing, brilliant white aura begins to emanate from the weapon. This radiant, powerful energy is exactly why it is called the White Jade Sword. It is a blade of immense spiritual power. As he moves through his forms, young Songjong approaches. He stands out in the rain, completely captivated, watching his father train through the window. Seeing his father wield the sword with such flawless, breathtaking precision brings a sudden moment of enlightenment to the young boy. He realizes just how profoundly skilled his father truly is, and a deep fire ignites within him. He vows to one day become just as strong, if not stronger, than his father. When Master Song finishes his routine and lowers his blade, he notices his son Jong. "What are you doing up so late at this hour?" Songjong steps forward respectfully. "Father, the guards at the main gate were looking for you. That's why I came to inform you." The patriarch frowns. "Why would the guards be looking for me in the middle of the night?" "Well," Jong explains, "an old woman has arrived at the front gate. She's completely drenched and is begging for a place to shelter from the storm tonight. She wants permission to come inside, so the guards wanted to get your approval first." Master Song's suspicion grows. An old woman. Why would an old woman show up here so late at night? What business could she possibly have out in a storm like this? "I don't know," Father Jong replies honestly, "but she clearly looks like she's in desperate need of help, which is why she came to our doors. Are you going to let her in?" "Personally, I don't think it's a good idea to just let a stranger inside. We can't afford to trust blindly." His father nods. "I will go down to the gates myself and assess the situation. If she genuinely needs shelter and poses no threat, I will grant her entry." With that, Master Song turns to head toward the main gates, but right before he steps out, he stops and looks back at his eldest son Jong. "Tell me something. You were watching me practice just now. What did you think? How did my technique look to you?" He asks this question because he wants to know just how much his son truly understands about the high-level concepts of cultivation and martial arts. But who is this mysterious old woman waiting at the gates in the pouring rain? Her arrival is about to alter the destiny of the Song family forever. And that brings us to the end of episode 1. In the next episode, we'll find out exactly who this old woman is and what she has come to do. At the end of the last episode, we saw Master Song asking his son Yong what he had to say about his technique and how he thought he was performing. Yong then explains something related to his father's technique. He compares it to a tree that stands firmly rooted in the ground, a tree so incredibly strong that it can never fall. Hearing this, his father becomes overjoyed and bursts out laughing. Seeing this, Yong asks his father what happened and why he is so happy. His father replies that his answer was absolutely correct, and he believes he is completely ready. With that, he hands over his sword to Yong. Passing down the White Jade sword, he tells him to keep the sword with him, because he wants him to practice with it starting tomorrow. From now on, he will hone his technique using this very sword. Yong is stunned and says that it is their family heirloom, so how can he give it to him? His father gently explains that a sword is just a sword. It isn't defined by its name or its history, but rather depends entirely on the capability of the person wielding it. He then adds that since he is in such a wonderful mood right now because of his son, he is going to go to the door and bring that old woman woman inside so they can open up a guest room for her to stay for the night. With that, he walks up to the door, approaches the woman, and asks her who she is. She replies that she is a traveler heading toward the Wajin temple, but because it suddenly started pouring rain, she desperately needed to stop. She then shares her tragic story, explaining why she is making the pilgrimage to pay tribute before the Buddha statue. She tells him that her son went off to fight in the war as a soldier, but only his severed head was sent back to her. His body was never recovered, which is why she wants to pray before Buddha so that his soul and her own can finally find peace. Moved by her story, Master Song says, "Alright, old woman, come inside. You can stay here for the night. Tomorrow morning when the rain stops, you can be on your way. He'll go and prepare a room for you." But the moment he turns his back to walk away, the old woman says, "Child, you truly are too kind. I had heard that the Song family is righteous and treats everyone well, but you really welcome unknown guests with open arms. I think this very reputation of yours will one day cost you your life. You know absolutely nothing about a strange old woman who suddenly showed up at your door, yet you turned your back to me, and that is the biggest mistake of your life." Master Song is stunned by her words, wondering why she would say such a thing. Just as he starts to turn around, the old woman pulls out a blowpipe and fires a poisonous needle directly at him. The needle strikes Master Song right in the back, sending venom instantly through his body. He collapses to the ground and shouts, "What are you doing, you wretched old hag? What have you done? Who are you?" The old woman bursts into maniacal laughter and says, "Look at how foolish you people are. I thought you were one of the 3 great sects here. It's a pity that despite being one of the top factions, you're still fools. No matter how great you become, you righteous masters will always be predictably self-righteous. That is your fatal weakness. If someone comes to you pretending to be poor or innocent, you blindly trust them." Furious, Master Song draws his sword through the pain and cleanly decapitates the old woman in one strike, saying, "Now die silently. I don't know who you are, but after what you've done to me, your death is certain." Master Song starts coughing up blood and can't even get back on his feet due to the poison cursing the wretched woman, but suddenly he hears a voice coming from inside her headless corpse. "Don't try to push yourself too hard," the voice warns. "You have been poisoned. This venom is very special. The more you move your body, the more agonizing the pain will become." Suddenly, a small but terrifying demon emerges from inside the old woman's body, which was merely a flesh vessel. He is a master from the Demonic Sect. Master Song demands, "Who are you?" The demon sneers, "Do you really think telling you my name makes any difference? Do you truly want to know who I am? Your entire Song family is going to be utterly exterminated today, so it doesn't matter if I tell you who I am." Refusing to give up, Master Song lunges forward with his sword, yelling, "You bastard, I won't spare you." But as he strikes, the demon's nails instantly elongate into razor-sharp blades, blocking the attack with his bare claws. Master Song is shocked to see deep cracks forming in his blade. The demon's nails are so sharp that they actually begin to destroy his sword. Master Song jumps back to create distance and says, "You cracked my sword and destroyed it, using only your nails. This means you are no ordinary human. You are a blood demon. Are you using the blood demon technique?" The demon replies, "Yes, I am a blood demon, Master Song. You are quite impressive. You recognized me and my technique just by looking at the poison on my claws." Master Song asks, "What is a Demonic Sect bastard doing here?" Because after the war between the Demonic faction and the righteous sects, the demonic cultivators had been forced into deep hiding or hunted down. The blood demon replies, "Yes, you are a smart man and know a lot about us, but we are here for the White Jade sword. We need it. We've received orders to start wreaking havoc across the Murim, and for that we need a trophy to show everyone that the Demonic Sect has returned by completely destroying a major sect. To do that, we will exterminate your entire family and take the White Jade sword with us," he adds. "So get ready, because my entire demonic army is marching right behind me. They will be here any second to annihilate your whole family, and not a single soul will survive today. This is necessary for our comeback." Master Song realizes that if what this bastard is saying is true, the rest of the demons will be here any moment. He knows he has to finish him off quickly so he can grab his family and run. Otherwise, everyone will be slaughtered. He feels a sliver of relief, thinking, "At least I already gave the White Jade sword to my son. I just hope my wife is smart enough to help him escape safely so they stay secure with the sword." The blood demon raises his claws to attack, taunting him, "You don't need to struggle anymore. The poison is already in your body and you can't do anything, so why don't you just die quietly?" Meanwhile, Yang arrives and stands at the top of the stairs. Master Song spots his son and, letting out a thunderous roar, shouts, "Children of the Song family, you must survive at all costs. These are the orders of your patriarch. Survive and protect the White Jade sword." With that, he charges forward to attack. Yang runs down desperately to help his father, but his mother grabs him and forcefully drags him back inside, saying, "No, son, you cannot go out there." Yang cries, "But mom, look at him. Father is in bad shape. I have to go help him." His mother says, "Did you not hear him? The lord of this family has given an order. Your father is the patriarch, and he ordered you to survive. Now grab your younger brother and leave through the secret tunnel immediately." Yang clenches his fist and says, "Please forgive me, father. I have to to follow your orders. I just pray you make it out of this fight alive. Young quickly runs to where Becca is, and their mother tells Becca to change his clothes quickly. She has both of them change their clothes, so they won't look like they belong to the Song family. Since Becca is just a 7-year-old child, he asks his mom, "Mom, are we going on a trip?" His mother replies, "Yes, you are going on a trip with your big brother. You two will go ahead first, and your father and I will catch up later. So you need to leave right now." Becca asks, "But why aren't you coming with us right now? And why is big brother leaning against the wall? Why won't he look at me?" Young is leaning against the wall, weeping silently, facing away so his little brother won't see his crying face. And that is where we conclude episode 2. In the next episode, we'll see this story become even more interesting. Will the two brothers be able to escape or not?
In the previous episode of White Jade's Sword, we saw the mother preparing both of her children so they could be sent away to safety through a secret tunnel. Around their necks, they wore necklaces that served as the symbol of the Song family. She took off the necklace and handed it to her eldest son, Yang, saying, "My child, keep this close to you. This is the victory token of our Song family. Keep it safe. As long as this token is in your hands, you can prove that you belong to the Song family and that you are one of its true members. Tomorrow, you will need this token." She placed the token into Yang's hands and told them, "All right, both of you leave from here now." Meanwhile, Yang was thinking to himself that the way his mother was speaking felt as though she wanted to stay behind with their father and die here. Overwhelmed, he started shouting to his mother, but she drew him into a tight embrace. "You have grown up now," she said softly. "You are big enough to take care of your younger brother. You can understand why I cannot leave the lord of this family behind. I cannot leave your father alone. You must have faith in yourself and look after your little brother. From now on, you two only have each other to rely on." Turning to young Becca, she said, "Becca, come here quickly." She embraced them both tightly and said, "Listen to me very carefully. From this day onward, you two must listen to each other, especially you, Becca. You must listen to your older brother. Respect him and obey him just as you would your father. Always stay by his side. Do not wander far from him. No matter what happens, you two must stay together. Never let yourselves be separated." She was explicitly telling Becca never to leave his brother's side, while also instructing Yang to take full care of him. Yang, understanding completely that his parents were facing their end, replied, "Mom, I understand. I know what I have to do." She opened the secret tunnel for them and urged, "All right, quickly get inside." Little Becca looked up and asked, "Mom, aren't you coming with us?" His mother replied, "No, sweetie, I can't come with you right now. Go ahead with your brother first, and we will follow right behind you. Your father has some important work to finish, and as soon as we are done, we will catch up." Becca's eyes lit up. "Are we playing hide and seek? Should we go ahead and hide, and then you'll come find us?" Fighting back her tears, his mother smiled and said, "Yes, of course, my boy. This is going to be a game of hide and seek. You two go and hide, and we will come looking for you." But deep down, she thought to herself, "Yes, my child, this will be a game of hide and seek, but it is going to take a very long time. It's possible we may never come to find you, but I pray that you both survive, and that you will rise and rebuild our Song family once again." She sat down right at the entrance of the secret tunnel, whispering to herself, "We had no better option than this. You two will have to rely on yourselves and survive. As long as you both live, the Song family lives on. Now your father and I can face our ends without any worries." She sat there calmly, knowing that the enemies were closing in. Outside, the warriors of the demonic faction had already arrived, ruthlessly slaughtering the members of the family. After clearing the outside, they breached the room where the mother was sitting. Meanwhile, the scene shifts outside to show the father, whose condition had drastically worsened. His entire body was drenched in blood, covered in deep gashes. The blood demon had pushed him to his absolute limits. The blood demon sneered, "Master Song, I didn't think you would last this long after the poison entered your body. You are the first man I've seen who is still standing before me, despite facing both our blood demon technique and our deadly poison. But now, I am getting quite bored. Hand over the White Jade sword immediately, so I can end this chapter, or I will lose my patience entirely." Master Song was bleeding out, but his mind was elsewhere. "I hope my children have made it far away by now," he thought. "My wife understood that I wouldn't survive this. Thank goodness the sword is with Yang." Looking defiantly at the demon, Master Song spoke aloud. "You came here to wipe out the Song family, but unfortunately for you, you will never succeed. Go ahead and kill me, kill my entire family, but you will never be able to erase the name of the Song family from this world." The blood demon burst into a mocking laughter. "Look at you. You are on the verge of death yourself, yet you still claim your family will survive? We won't just erase you. My entire demonic army is marching right behind me. Even if a single soul tries to escape this place, they will be hunted down. Even if someone is merely associated with the Song family and isn't a blood relative, they will be slaughtered. No one will be left alive." Hearing this, Master Song unleashed his special technique, channeling his immense boiling internal energy. He executed the powerful White Jade sword technique, unleashing a barrage of swift, devastating slashes. The blood demon didn't even get a chance to react. He had taken Master Song too lightly while mocking him. In an instant, his body was covered in deep cuts, and he collapsed heavily onto the ground. "How is this possible?" the blood demon gasped, coughing up blood. "You were in such a wretched state. How could you still defeat me?" Master Song stood breathing heavily, thinking, "I only forced my body to stand against this poison, to buy enough time for my children to escape. I can't hold this boiling energy much longer. The poison is draining my life force. The more I try to suppress it, the more energy I lose. I don't have much time left. I'm dying." Just as the thought crossed his mind, voices echoed from behind. More members of the demonic faction stepped forward. One of them looked down at the fallen blood demon and mocked. "We told this fool to be cautious when fighting Master Song. After all, Master Song is the patriarch of one of the 3 great families of Shiji. He is a formidable master." As Master Song turned around, he saw 4 powerful demon masters standing atop the wall. All 4 were elite warriors, just like the blood demon. "Now it is our turn to handle him," one of them declared. 4 demonic generals from the 12 ghosts of the demonic society have personally come to be your opponents. Can you possibly face us now? The scene briefly flashes back to the headquarters of the demonic faction. The Grandmaster of the demonic faction was addressing his subordinates. 40 years ago, during the Great War between the demonic faction and the righteous faction humiliated and defeated us brutally. Driven by that shame, we went into hiding. For the past 40 years, we have lain low, cultivating our powers solely to exact our revenge. And finally, the time has come. We can finally lead the demonic society out of the shadows and stand before the world. I want the entire Murim to know that the demonic faction has returned. And for that, you must do something monumental. I order you to attack the Song family of Shiji and seize their White Jade sword. That sword will be our ultimate trophy, for it was used to slay countless of our demonic masters 40 years ago. If we slaughter them and bring that sword back, it will send shockwaves through the Murim alliance. Everyone will learn to fear us again, and we will avenge our past insult by taking that blade. This is my order. Go now and completely eradicate the Song family. Leave no one alive." The scene cuts back to the tense present. Master Song stood his ground, staring back at the 4 ghost masters. "It seems I have to stand a little longer," Master Song thought grimly. "I must fight a bit more, though my strength has abandoned me, and my body is no longer fit for battle." He raised his voice and shouted, "What business do dogs of the demonic faction like you have here?" One of the ghost masters replied coldly, "We need to wrap this up quickly before our Supreme General arrives. If he gets here and sees we haven't finished this simple task, he will be highly disappointed in us." With that, all 4 generals launched themselves forward simultaneously, combining their forces to strike down Master Song. Deep underground, the scene shifts to the 2 children running through the dark, narrow tunnel. Halfway through, little Becca slowed down, gasping for breath. "Brother, please slow down. I can't run anymore. You know I can't keep up with you." He stopped and slumped against the wall. Yang turned back, urging him anxiously. "Hurry up. We have to get out of here right now." Becca sat flat on the ground. "I can't take another step. I'm exhausted." "I told you, keep moving," Yang snapped, his voice tight with panic. "We cannot stop here." "But how can I walk? My legs hurt and I'm tired," Becca whined. "I'm just going to sit here and wait for Mom and Dad. They must be coming right behind us." Knowing the grim reality, Yang stepped forward, grabbed his little brother's arm, and pulled him to his feet. Dragging him along, he said, "Just come with me quietly." As they forced themselves forward, the entire cavern suddenly began to shudder and shake. "What's happening all of a sudden?" they gasped. Looking closely at the tunnel wall, little Becca pointed out, "Brother, look, a hole has opened up in the wall over there. Let's see what's outside." The small boy peered through the crack in the stone. Outside, the lifeless body of a demon master lay on the ground, with another dead warrior lying nearby. But then his eyes widened in horror. His father was standing there in a terrible condition, completely covered in blood, as a 3rd demon master lunged forward to deliver a fatal blow. This brings us to the end of episode 3.
Will the 2 children manage to escape safely? What will be their fate moving forward? Will one of them perish, or will both make it out alive? And most importantly, who will inherit the legendary White Jade sword? The older brother Yang or the younger brother Becca? We will find out all these answers in the next episode.
Welcome back. Everyone, I am here with episode 4 of White Jade. At the end of the last episode, we saw the 2 children looking outside from inside the hall. Out there, they see that 2 demons have already been killed, but 2 are still alive and actively attacking their father. Suddenly, one of the demons leaps high into the air and swings a massive, heavy iron ball down at their father. Master Song is completely ready to block the strike. He spins his sword, delivers a swift slash and cleaves the heavy ball right in half. The demon is absolutely stunned, wondering how on earth a mere human could slice through his iron ball. Seizing the moment, Master Song spins his sword once more and cleanly severs the demon's arm. The demon grabs his bloody shoulder and begins screaming in agonizing pain. Seeing this, the fourth demon, a woman, steps forward and taunts him, saying, "Since you are going to die here anyway, why are you putting up such a desperate struggle? Why don't you just die quietly?" With that, she leaps forward with incredible speed, wielding her dual swords, and says, "We had heard rumors about you. We were warned that you are a powerful man who is capable of anything." But as she charges toward him, she suddenly senses a terrifying energy. A massive, suffocating aura is radiating from Master Song's body. She freezes in her tracks, thinking, "What is this? I thought this man was on the verge of death. Is he burning his own life force right before dying? Is he using up his residual life energy to turn himself into an unstoppable force just to fight us? Whatever it is, the pressure I feel right now tells me one thing. If I step forward and strike him, I will die." Just then, a voice echoes from behind them. Their general arrives on the scene and says, "I told you all that Song Bayong is a highly powerful opponent. If you're going to fight him, you should at least come prepared." Hearing this, the female demon looks back and says, "My lord, you have finally arrived." The general replies, "Yes, I am here." He then commands the elite warriors of the demon faction, "Step forward." Quickly, a squad of demon faction warriors arrives, carrying heavy metal chains meant to bind Master Song. They leap down from above, lashing out with their chains to trap his body. Looking at them, Master Song declares, "Today, I will turn this very ground into a graveyard for all of you. Not a single one of you will leave this place alive. Anyone who even thinks of harming my family will face my wrath." Master Song unleashes a barrage of slashes with his sword, instantly cutting through their heavy chains. Every single warrior hit by his blade begins losing arms and legs. Master Song roars, "I mean it. Not a single one of you will escape alive." He unleashes a flurry of rapid strikes, and the soldiers stand absolutely no chance against him. Watching this display, the female demon thinks in shock, is Master Song truly this powerful? If a single faction leader is this strong, then how powerful must the rest of the righteous leaders be? She also wonders, I had heard that he uses a very rare, special sword technique, but I haven't seen that unique technique yet. The general steps down and tells her, "This man has only been playing with us until now." The girl responds, "My lord, what do you mean? If you give me just a little more time, we can easily subdue him. Please give me a bit more time." The general refuses. "No, I won't give you any more time. Instead, watch what I do now. I'm going to fight my old friend myself." The female demon is stunned, wondering, why is the general calling Master Song his old friend? Meanwhile, Master Song continues to cut through the soldiers. As he fights, he thinks to himself, "I just need to hold them off for a little longer. That will give my children enough time to escape safely." Suddenly, the general taunts him. "It looks like you are still stuck at the 8th level of your family's special martial arts." With incredible speed, the general lunges forward with his sword. Their blades clash violently. As they lock swords, the general says, "It's been a long time, Song Buyong. Today, we finally fight again." Master Song glares at him and demands, "You bastard! What are you doing here? Why have you come to this place?" The general replies, "I haven't come here today for any personal reasons. We have received orders from above. Orders to completely destroy your Song family. In fact, we have orders to destroy the entire righteous faction. It's just unfortunate that your Song family is the first target on the list. Your family possesses something that we can use to announce to the world that the demonic faction has returned. That is why you became our target." With that, the general uses the exact same sword technique to attack Master Song. Seeing this, the general's own commanders are utterly shocked, murmuring, "How can our general use the exact same technique? He is attacking by using the Song family's secret art." On the other side, Master Song is matching him move for move using the same technique. Everyone present is left wondering about the deep connection between the two men. How did they both master the exact same technique? Was our general once a part of the Song family? Master Song tries his best to push the general back, but his own sword has been infected by a dark curse. Master Song's blade is about to shatter. The general smirks and says, "Your Song family's martial arts are indeed highly impressive, but do you really think you can perform this technique without the White Jade sword? Trying to execute these moves with an ordinary sword is pure foolishness. Standard swords lack durability and are far too weak. This art can only be fully realized with that one specific sword. Tell me, where is the White Jade sword? What did you think I came here for?" Master Song spits back, "You abandoned our family and fled. What could you possibly know about our family's secret arts and what they are truly capable of?" The general counters, "Your family's techniques are good, but I wanted something much greater. That is why I left." As Master Song's blade begins to crumble and chip away, he realizes what is happening in shock. How is this possible? Have you mastered the blood arts? Did you master the demonic faction's blood arts to corrode my blade? The general smiles coldly. Yes, I mastered the blood arts, because without the White Jade sword, your family's technique is incomplete. Without it, you cannot cut through an opponent's sword using that art alone. But my technique is superior. In a sudden flash, the general strikes, severing one of Master Song's hands. Watching this from his hiding spot, his son lets out a silent, heartbroken scream. The general suddenly pauses, turns around, and looks toward the hall. Through the opening, he spots the two children. The older brother is desperately covering the younger one's mouth, pulling him back into the shadows. The general sees them clearly, but strangely, he chooses not to pursue them. Right then, the soldiers drag Master Song's wife out into the courtyard. Master Song cries out in despair. My lady, why didn't you escape with the children? You should have gone with them. She looks at him tearfully and replies, how could I leave you behind, my love? I have spent my entire life with you, and if I am to die, I will die by your side. The children are perfectly safe. They have already escaped. She then turns to the general and says, it has been a long time since I last saw you. The general looks at her and says, you made the wrong choice back then, and now I feel pity that you chose this man over me. The mother snaps back. You are just as foolish today as you were back then. Did you really think I could ever choose someone like you? Just look at what you've become. Your heart was never pure. No matter which faction you join, you could never achieve anything worthy in the Song family, and you will never achieve anything great in this world. You have absolutely no future. Hearing her harsh words, the general stands quietly for a moment before asking coldly, are these your final words? Is that all you have to say? Master Song begs desperately, please don't kill her. Spare her. Ignoring the general, the wife turns to her husband one last time and says, I am so incredibly happy that I met you and that I became your wife. With a swift, merciless swing, the general slashes his sword across her body. She falls to the ground, dead. The father lets out a piercing, agonizing scream. No, this can't be. He runs frantically to his wife's side, cradling her lifeless body in his arms. Why did you do this? Why didn't you just run away? He glares up at the general with pure hatred. Why did you kill her? She had nothing to do with this. Was murdering her a part of your orders too? The general replies expressionlessly. I told you before, this isn't personal. I have received orders, and I must fulfill them. And that brings us to the end of episode 4. In the next episode, we will see what happens next. Will the children be able to escape safely, or will they be caught? At the end of the last episode, we saw the general heartlessly murder the mother. Right after, he looks at Master Song and says, I have nothing personal against you or your family. I am simply following orders. Besides, you possess something that is far beyond your current power level, something you are incapable of handling. Yet you kept it hidden away. I'm talking about the White Jade sword. You should never have kept it, especially when you lack the strength to protect it. Master Song glares at him and spits back. Is that truly the only reason you did all of this? For a single sword, you slaughtered my entire family? Suddenly, a terrifying crimson aura begins to erupt from Master Song's body. He stretches out his hand and his sword, which was lying far away across the courtyard, flies straight into his grip. Even though he is battered and bleeding, he forces himself to stand, surrounded by a deadly, overwhelming power. He looks at the general and declares, your game ends here. The general watches this in utter astonishment. He mutters to himself, even though his body is completely broken and he is on the verge of death, the sheer rage has caused him to unconsciously unlock the 9th level of his family's secret art. He has achieved the 9th level, but it won't save him. Raw anger alone isn't enough to kill me. He looks at Master Song and says, forgive me, but you are pushing your body far past its limits. You won't be able to achieve anything with this. With a deafening roar, Master Song launches himself forward at incredible speed. A massive explosion shakes the courtyard, but as the smoke clears, Master Song's blade is stopped just short of the target. The general had boasted that Master Song wouldn't even be able to touch him, and he was right. Master Song is frozen in place, completely bound by the heavy chains of the elite demon warriors, who rushed in to restrain him before he could reach the general. Bound and helpless, Master Song spits out his final curse. One day, the children of the Song family will return, and they will take your head. They will avenge us. The general draws his sword, looking down at him. I will be waiting for the day the children of the Song family come for my head. With a single, swift slash, he brings his blade down and kills Master Song. Looking down at Master Song's lifeless body, the general touches the scar over his eye. He murmurs, we fought once before, and you gave me this scar. I never wanted to settle our score like this. I didn't want to avenge my wound by killing you in such a pathetic state. Suddenly, a soldier rushes into the courtyard, panicking. My lord, we have bad news. The general turns, annoyed. What is it now? We discovered a secret passage hidden inside the mother's room. It looks like they managed to smuggle the children out through it. The general recalls the moment he looked through the opening in the hall and saw those two pairs of furious eyes staring back at him. He thinks to himself, there's no point in killing those two little kids right now. Where's the fun in that? Let them grow up first. He turns to his men and says, we are heading back. A soldier asks, all of us, my lord? Yes, everyone. The female demon commander steps forward in protest. General, how can we just leave? Our orders were to completely destroy the Song family. Master Song just confirmed he has 2 sons, and they've clearly escaped through the secret tunnel. We must hunt them down. What will we tell the higher-ups if they find out? They will punish us. The general looks at her coldly. Do you honestly think our mission was to blindly follow orders, kill everyone, and bring back the White Jade sword? No. We have destroyed the Song family estate and killed Master Song and his wife. Our mission is already complete. This is more than enough to announce the return of the demonic faction to the Murim world. We don't need to do anything else. Let's move out. The girl pushes further. But how can we just let those children go? We are already here. We should hunt them down and eliminate them. If you don't, how will you keep the elders quiet? They won't let this slide. The general laughs it off. You don't need to worry about a thing. I left those children alive on purpose. In 10 years, when they grow up and become strong, they will come looking for me to take their revenge. And when that day comes, I will slaughter them with my own hands. Don't stress yourself over it. With a confident laugh, he turns and walks away. The female commander watches him go, deeply unsettled, wondering what the general is truly planning and why he would intentionally leave the bloodline alive. The scene shifts to a hidden outhouse on the outskirts, where the secret tunnel finally ends. The 2 brothers emerge into the open air. Little Beak is sobbing uncontrollably, striking his older brother in a fit of grief and anger. Dad was in so much pain. Why did you drag me away and run? You're a coward. You could have gone back to help him. He pounds on his brother's chest. Big brother, you're so strong. You know how to use a sword. Why didn't you go back? Jong stands completely silent, taking the blows without saying a word. Exhausted and heartbroken, Beak collapses to the ground, weeping bitterly. I will never forgive you. I'll never forgive you for being a coward. You could have saved father. Jong steps forward, pulls his sobbing younger brother into a tight embrace, and says softly, cry as much as you want, but we can never go back. Our family is gone. Mother is dead, and father is dead. Beak keeps screaming, you're a coward. You're a coward. Jong holds him even tighter. Before mother left us, she told me that we must look out for each other. I will never let you go, and I will never let anyone harm you. I promise you. I will avenge our father, our mother, and our entire family. Hearing this, Beak cries even harder, clinging to his brother. Brother, I don't care about revenge. I just want my mother and father back. I want to go back to mom and dad. Let's please go back. Jong closes his eyes heavily. No, Becca, we can't go back. From now on, we can only move forward. The next scene takes us to the bustling streets of Beijing. The 2 young brothers have managed to reach the city, but surviving on their own is a brutal reality for 2 young children. As they walk down a crowded alleyway, Baek's stomach rumbles. He stares longingly at a nearby food stall. Jong notices and asks gently, are you hungry, Baek? Baek looks away stubbornly. No, brother. I'm not hungry. He walks over to the side and stands by himself, refusing to speak to his older brother. In his mind, he still blames Jong for being a coward and not fighting to save their father. Jong sighs, watching him. Ever since father died, he has completely shut down. He won't talk to me no matter how hard I try. He truly believes it's my fault that father isn't alive. Jong walks up to him and says, Beak, stay right here. Don't move an inch. I'm going to go get us something to eat, all right? Just wait for me. As Jong walks away, a wave of fear hits Beak. He watches his brothers retreating back, terrified that he might be abandoned. He wants to call out, brother, please don't leave me behind. I don't want any food, just stay with me. But the words get caught in his throat, and he remains silent. A few moments pass, and a brief gap in the story implies that a sudden incident takes place in the streets. Suddenly, we see Jong lying unconscious on the ground. An elderly man, a mysterious old master, is kneeling beside him, checking his pulse. The old master murmurs to himself, this boy is severely malnourished. He probably hasn't eaten in days, which is why he collapsed. But looking at his build, and the way he carries that sword, he looks like a martial artist, from a prominent, righteous family. How did he end up in such a terrible state? As the old master examines the sword in the boy's hand, his eyes widen in shock. He instantly recognizes it. It is the legendary White Jade sword. Before he can investigate further, a group of local thugs steps out of the shadows, sneering, "Hey, old man, step away from the kid. That brat stole our sword and ran off. That sword belongs to us. Leave it, and you can do whatever you want with the boy." The old master stands up slowly, a sharp glare in his eyes. "You claim this sword belongs to you?" The thugs draw their weapons. "Yeah, it's ours. Hand it over quietly, or we'll beat you to a pulp along with the kid." Ignoring their threats, the old master gently lifts the unconscious Jong. Suddenly, he releases a massive burst of internal energy. The sheer pressure of his aura crashes over the thugs like a tidal wave, paralyzing them with fear. The master looks down at them with absolute disdain. "Do you trash really believe the White Jade sword belongs in the hands of scum like you? You know absolutely nothing about this blade, yet you dare claim it as yours." Feeling the crushing weight of his immense power, the thugs realize they are completely outmatched and run for their lives. Meanwhile, back in the alley, little Beak is still sitting alone, patiently waiting for his older brother to return with food. Completely unaware of the danger his brother is in, he holds the jade token in his hand, the very same token their mother had given to both brothers before they came to this place. The scene shifts to a flashback from the previous night, showing the two brothers sitting together. The younger brother, Baek, is sitting quietly and peacefully, while the older brother, Jong, is frantically doing something. Baek thinks to himself, "What is he even doing? He told me to sit here and sleep quietly, but he's the one making more noise than anyone else." Just then, the older brother comes back to him. The moment he returns, Baek turns his face away angrily, thinking, "I will never forgive this coward. I can never forgive him for what he did." As Baek keeps his face turned away, Jong comes over, sits beside him, and places half of the jade token next to him. Their mother had originally given them a single, whole token. Jong says to him, "This is for you. This is the symbol of our Song family. Mother gave it to us before we came here. This is the dragon emblem, one of the precious heirlooms of our Song family. You keep half of it, and I will keep the other half. No matter where we go in this world, whenever we look at these pieces, they will remind us that we are members of the Song family, and that we are brothers. No matter what happens, I will never leave you. I will never abandon you." Hearing these words, Baek turns around and looks at his brother. He repeats to himself that his brother promised never to leave him. The scene shifts back to the present. Baek is sitting alone, overwhelmed by his thoughts. "My brother said he would never leave me. He said he was just going to fetch something for me to eat, but he abandoned me and ran away. He was a coward who fled. Just like he abandoned our family, he has abandoned me here too." Baek sits there waiting until nightfall, but he cannot stay there forever. Finally, he stands up and starts walking away. Just as Baek begins to move forward, the old master's carriage passes right by him. Inside that very carriage is Jong, who is still unconscious. The masters are taking him back with them to their sect. This is how the two brothers are torn apart. Baek is separated from his brother. In the next scene, we are introduced to the legend of the Four Sages. 40 years ago, a massive war broke out between the demonic faction and the righteous faction. In the midst of that war, 4 righteous masters stood at the absolute forefront. These 4 incredibly powerful masters played the most crucial role in ending the war. After the war concluded, all 4 masters decided to retire from active martial arts affairs. Instead of remaining active in the world, they went on to establish their own respective academies. One of those 4 legendary sages is the very master who picked up Jong and is now taking him to his sect. This master founded a legendary institution known as the Murim Academy. However, its location remains a complete mystery. No one in the outside world knows where the Murim Academy is hidden. The next scene takes us inside the School of Medicine at the Murim Academy. The moment Jong regains consciousness, he starts panicking and yelling at the top of his lungs, "Please let me go. Let me go. My little brother is out there waiting for me. He must be terrified and worried sick. I have to go back to him right now." The doctor tries to calm him down, saying, "No, you need to lie down and rest." The master then steps in and says, "Son, please forgive me. If I had known you had a younger brother with you, we would have brought him along as well. We assumed you were all alone, which is why we only brought you here. I am truly sorry for the oversight. However, I have already dispatched my people to that location. Based on the age and description you gave, we will find him. Do not worry at all." But Jong protests, "No, regardless of what you say, I have to leave this place. I need to go and find my brother myself. He is sitting there waiting for me, and I promised him I would never leave him." The master reassures him, "Child, I told you there is no need to panic. panic. We will find your younger brother. I swear this upon the name of the 4 sages of Murim. The master's disciple adds, yes, master is absolutely right. Master never breaks his word. We will definitely find your brother. Hearing this, Jong seemingly gives in and stays quiet. However, the moment they leave the room, Jong immediately puts on his clothes, climbs over the wall, and escapes into the night. As he runs, Jong thinks to himself, I cannot depend on them and stay here. My brother already thinks of me as a coward and hates me. If he thinks I abandoned him and ran away, he will hate me even more. I must go and find him myself, no matter what. I have to find my brother. He dashes through the forest, pushing himself forward, but begins to feel exhausted. I've been running for so long, but this forest doesn't seem to end. I have no idea where these people brought me. How long will it take me to reach the city where I left my brother? As Jong runs forward through the woods, a man suddenly appears ahead of him. This master is strolling along casually, humming a tune. He has 3 swords and 3 blades strapped across his waist and back. Looking at him, Jong analyzes the situation. He carries 3 swords and 3 blades. This means he is a highly skilled martial arts master. I shouldn't mess with this guy. Furthermore, he can't be a demonic master, because a demonic master wouldn't be wandering this close to the Murim Academy. Wait, I have heard stories about a master with 3 swords and 3 blades before. Shaking off the thought, he decides, whatever the case, my priority is to get back to the city to find my brother. I should just pass by him quietly. As Jong tries to slip past him, the master, still humming his tune, stops as their paths cross. He remarks, that's a remarkably fine sword you have there. The moment the words leave the man's mouth, Jong panics, draws his sword in a flash, and holds it right against the master's throat. He threatens, now, walk away quietly, and I will do the same. The master looks at him calmly and says, kid, what's wrong with you? I merely complimented your sword, and you draw it and put it against my neck? Jong replies fiercely, everyone compliments this sword at first. First they praise it, and then they try to steal it. You are planning to do the exact same thing, so if you want to stay alive, leave quietly. First, seal your own pressure points so I can walk away safely. Don't try anything funny. The master chuckles. Young man, can't you see? I already carry 3 swords and 3 blades. I have absolutely no need for another sword. Why on earth would I want to take yours? Jong snaps. Cut the chatter and seal your pressure points right now. The master sighs. Boy, you are far too impatient. With a casual flick of his finger, the master strikes the blade. The sheer force sends Jong flying backward, crashing heavily onto the ground a good distance away. Despite the impact, Jong forces himself back onto his feet, ready to fight. He thinks in panic, I can't just let this master go. He could easily hunt me down and kill me. I have to win this fight at all costs. He looks down at his hand and realizes his sword is trembling violently. The master observes him and asks, kid, are you really refusing to let go of your sword even now? The White Jade sword is an incredibly precious treasure. How did a boy like you come to possess it? Jong is stunned. He recognizes the White Jade sword. That means this master is exactly who I think he is. It has to be him. A flashback triggers in Jong's mind, recalling a conversation with his father about the demonic war. During that war, the White Jade sword was wielded by his grandfather, who was celebrated as one of the 4 legendary sages of Jonghu. His father had told him, yes, your grandfather carved his name among the 4 sages and saved Murim from the demonic faction. Young Jong had asked, so that means the White Jade sword is an incredibly powerful weapon. Is that why it became our family heirloom after grandfather passed away? His father replied, yes. You are right, but alongside your grandfather, there was another master named Han Hyun. He was a magnificent hero. He wielded 3 swords and 3 blades, and with them, he provided immense help to your grandfather. Han Hyun slaughtered countless demons with his unique weapons. Hearing this, Becca had chimed in during the memory. Does that mean Han Hyun was even stronger than our grandfather? Their father confirmed. Yes, Han Hyun was indeed stronger than your grandfather. In fact, he was arguably the most powerful among the 4 sages, sitting comfortably at the top ranks. Even to this day, people in the demonic faction tremble at the mere mention of Han Hyun's name. They say that if you ever see a man with 3 swords and 3 blades, you must run for your life immediately, or Han Hyun will tear you to pieces. The scene snaps back to the present. Jong is reeling from the realization. How can this be? Could this master really be the legendary Han Hyun? But if he dates back to my grandfather's era, he should be an old man. This man looks incredibly young. Perhaps he altered his appearance? Master Han breaks his train of thought, his tone turning chillingly serious. Kid, I don't care what kind of situation you are running from, but those who dare to hold a sword to my throat do not survive. Do you honestly think you'll be the exception? Very few have ever survived, after pulling a stunt like that with me. Meanwhile, Yang is frantically calculating his options. If I'm stuck here and have to face this master, I'll have to put my absolute life on the line. Otherwise, there's no escaping him. Master Han Hyun is a legendary war hero and an incredibly powerful warrior. Even if I try to run, he'll hunt me down in a heartbeat. Running isn't an option. I have to fight. With that final thought, Yang drops into his combat stance. Master Han looks on, genuinely surprised and amused. Well, look at this kid. He clearly figures out who I am, yet his eyes are burning with pure determination. It's obvious he actually wants to cross swords with me. Fascinating. It's been a long time since a youngster has caught my interest like this. Master Han looks at him and asks, "Is this really how you want to play this, boy?" He smiles and continues, "All right, tell you what, let's make a wager. I challenge you to attack me. If you can launch an attack fierce enough to force me to draw my sword within the next 20 seconds, you're free to go. I won't lay a finger on you. But if those 20 seconds run out and you fail to make me draw my weapon, you will have to become my disciple." Master Han sets this condition entirely for his own benefit, fully aware that the boy won't stand a chance of forcing his hand in just 20 seconds. Yang stands there, completely stunned by the proposition. Seeing his hesitation, Master Han mocks him gently. "What's the matter now? Want to back out and throw in the towel? You should know that becoming my disciple is no ordinary feat. It's a grand privilege. If you want to accept your fate right now, just drop your sword and don't bother attacking. By doing so, you'll eventually become one of the greatest martial artists in the land and carry my legacy forward." But Yang looks him dead in the eye and asks, "Do you promise to keep your word? If I attack and force you to draw your sword within 20 seconds, will you really let me go?" Master Han is utterly taken aback by the boy's audacity. Is this kid out of his mind? I just handed him the offer of a lifetime to be my disciple, and he still wants to risk it all just to see if he can force my hand in 20 seconds. The scene shifts, jumping 2 years into the future. Time has flown by incredibly fast. We are taken to a small, quiet village where a merchant named Master O is selling tools. Master O is a master blacksmith by trade, though lately, instead of forging deadly swords, he has resorted to making simple farming tools. A customer approaches, handing over some money in advance. Master O stops him, saying, "Wait, you haven't even inspected the tools yet, and you're already paying me?" The man smiles and replies, "Master O, who in this region doesn't know of your legendary skills? You are the greatest blacksmith around. Even a standard sword forged by your hands turns out to be a divine-grade weapon. I have no doubt these farming hoes will be exceptional as well." Master O turns around and calls out, "Song Baek, boy, hurry up and bring the rest of the inventory out. We've sold everything." Song Baek walks out, carrying the heavy farming equipment. "Here, I've brought everything," Baek says quietly. "Should I set them down here?" Master O nods. Yes, leave them right there." The customer, who has been buying from Master O for a long time, looks at Baek and reflects on how much has changed. "Man, look how quickly time flies. It's already been 2 whole years. I remember when you first brought this kid to the village. He was so small back then. Look at how tall he has grown in just 2 years. If you hadn't taken him in that day, the poor thing would have probably starved to death begging on the streets." The customer pauses, looking closely at Baek, and adds, "But you know, I've been coming to buy from you for 2 years now, and I don't think I've ever seen this boy smile. He barely says a word. Why is he always so quiet and brooding?" Master O sighs softly. "I have no idea. He's the exact same way with me." After wrapping up their sales for the day, they pack up and begin their journey back home. As Baek walks silently beside him, Master O steals a glance at the boy and ponders, "No matter how many times I look at him, this boy's physical build is far from ordinary. Looking at his posture and physique, he looks exactly like the young master of a prestigious martial arts clan. How on earth did a boy of his background end up in such a miserable state when I found him? Back then, he looked just like a starving orphan left out to die." Breaking the silence, Master O asks, "Song Baek, tell me something. Do you never wish to return home? Don't you have any family out there? Isn't there anyone waiting for you?" Baek looks down and answers softly, "No, master. I have no family left. You are my grandfather, and you are my only family now. Ever since I accepted you as my grandfather 2 years ago, this has been my home. I am going to stay right here by your side." As they finally arrive back at their residence, they are startled to see a contingent of the Imperial Army stationed right outside their house. Baek tenses up, asking, "What is going on? Why is the Imperial Army here?" Master O spots a heavily armored man among the soldiers and gasps, "That's the Imperial General!" He frantically rushes down the path, bowing deeply. "Sir, had you informed me of your arrival beforehand, I would have prepared." Coming out of nowhere like this, the man interrupts him with a calm demeanor. "Think nothing of it, Master O. I came here specifically to see you, because I require your exceptional skills for a very important task. This man is none other than Master Dongbang Chunu of the Dongmang clan, who serves as the Supreme General of the Great Imperial Army." Recognizing his immense stature, Both Master O and Baek bow their heads in deep respect to greet him. The general hasn't come alone. He has brought his young daughter with him. Baek sneaks a glance at the little girl, and she catches him looking, staring right back at him. In the next moment, we see Baek sitting outside under the shade of a large tree. He has been asked to wait outside since the Supreme General is inside, having a highly confidential discussion with Master O. As Baek sits there alone, he stares at the lavish imperial carriage parked outside. We used to have a carriage just like that, he thinks to himself bitterly. Our family carriage was just as grand and massive. While he is lost in his thoughts, the general's daughter, Dongbang Rai, walks out of the house accompanied by her personal guard. She approaches Baek and asks bluntly, "Hey, what are you doing sitting out here all by yourself?" Baek remains completely silent, ignoring her question. Seeing this, her guard loses his temper and barks at Baek. "Hey brat, didn't anyone teach you any manners? Lady Rai is asking you a question, and you just sit there ignoring her? Don't you think you owe her an answer?" Rai immediately turns around and snaps at her guard. "You need to quiet down. Let me talk to him myself." She then walks right up to Baek and sits down directly beside him on the ground. Baek is utterly bewildered by her forwardness. Why did this girl suddenly come and sit next to me, he wonders, his face instantly turning bright red. Up close, he can't help but notice how incredibly pretty she is. Dongbang Rai introduces herself again. "My name is Dongbang Rai. I'm telling you a second time. I am 9 years old. Now, tell me your name." Blushing, Baek finally speaks up. "My name is Song Baek, and I'm 16 years old." Rai's eyes light up. "Oh, so you're 16. That means you are my elder brother." Baek is stunned. Did this girl seriously just claim me as her big brother out of nowhere? She continues cheerfully. "Since you are my elder brother now, you can call me Raimi from today onwards. Make sure you call me Raimi." Baek blinks. Okay, I'll call you Raimi. That's a pretty unusual nickname." It's a very cute nickname, and it's strictly for you to use," she says, puffing her cheeks. Then she smiles. "And I will call you Songa." Baek is completely thrown off by the bizarre pet name. Before he can protest, Rai reaches out and touches his forehead. "You're such a strange boy. Are you running a fever or something? Why do you speak so little?" Standing a few feet away, her personal guard is absolutely seething with rage. He glares at Baek, furious to see Lady Raimi interacting so closely and playfully with a common village boy. The guard's anger is completely justified given her status. She is the only daughter of the Supreme General, the man who commands the entire imperial army and stands as the second most powerful man in the empire, right below the emperor himself. Yet, poor Baek sits there completely oblivious, having absolutely no clue about the monumental status of the little girl chatting away right next to him. With this intriguing encounter, episode 7 comes to a close. Will young Raimi bring a stroke of good fortune into Baek's harsh life, or is her arrival a harbinger of danger? We will find out in the next episode. At the end of the last episode, we saw young Baek talking with Raimi, or rather, Raimi chatting away happily with him. Standing nearby, her personal guard was initially seething with anger. However, his expression softened into a calm peace as he watched Raimi smile and laugh so effortlessly with the village boy. The guard thought to himself, "Perhaps I should just let them talk. For the first time in so long, I am seeing our young miss truly smile. I haven't seen her this genuinely happy in ages." He stood back quietly, a wave of relief washing over him. It is a beautiful thing to see her laugh like this. Ever since her mother passed away, she hasn't been able to smile properly, let alone laugh and talk with anyone. Even though this boy is just a common villager, if he can bring her this much joy, I shouldn't stand in the way. Her happiness is all that matters to me. Soon after, their meeting drew to a close. Even after sitting inside the grand imperial carriage, Raimi leaned out of the window, waving her hand enthusiastically. "Baek, we will definitely meet again. Songa, I'll be back next month, I promise." The guard gently scolded her, saying, "Young miss, please keep your hand inside. It could be dangerous." With that, the carriage rolled away. Once they were gone, Baek stood there, a bright smile on his face, thinking about how remarkably special and beautifully eccentric that girl was. Master O walked up to him, teasing, "Well, look at that. I didn't know you could make a face like that. That's the very first time I've seen you smile." Baek instantly grew flustered, turning away. "No, it's nothing at all." He tried to force his usual stoic, somber expression back on, but Master O smiled warmly and said, "Knowing that they will return in just a month, it makes me happy to think that I'll get to see you smile like that again." Hearing that they would definitely return in a month made Baek's heart swell with silent joy. Master O then patted his shoulder, his tone turning serious. "Starting tomorrow, we are going to be incredibly busy. The great general left his sword with us. We have to repair it and restore it to its former glory. So hurry up and follow me inside. It's getting quite cold out here, and we need to start working immediately." Baek nodded, though his mind was still drifting back to the thought of the coming month and the promise of seeing Raimi again. Inside the forge, Master O began his work, his hammer striking the glowing metal with rhythmic precision. Baek brought over a bucket of fresh water. "Here's the water, grandfather." "Excellent, boy," Master O replied, wiping the sweat from his brow. "Now come closer. Let me show you something. For the past 2 years, you haven't seen me forge a single sword, because I had completely given up on weapons. You've only ever seen me craft simple farming tools, but tonight, things are different." Baek looked intently at the glowing metal. "Are you attempting to repair a longsword?" Master O smiled to himself, his suspicions confirmed. "I knew it. My instincts about this boy were entirely right. He isn't an ordinary village child. He belongs to a prestigious martial clan." The moment he laid eyes on the piece, he knew exactly what it was. Master O often wondered about Baek's past. Where is his family? Why did he run away from them? And how did he end up in such a miserable state? I know nothing of his circumstances, but as Master O glanced back at Baek, he noticed the boy's hands were trembling violently, his knuckles white with a sudden, deep-seated rage. Inwardly, Baek's mind was screaming. Because of a single sword, my entire family was destroyed. He was thinking of the legendary White Jade sword, the weapon that had drawn the bloodthirsty demonic faction to their doorstep, leading to the slaughter of everyone he held dear. Choking back his anger, Baek blurted out, "It's a cursed piece of metal. I absolutely hate swords. I despise all weapons." Master O stopped hammering, looking calmly at the furious boy. "A sword is just a sword, child." Baek snapped back. "What is that supposed to mean? Why would you say that?" Master O looked at the glowing blade. "I mean exactly what I said. A sword is merely an object. You are cursing it, blaming it for whatever tragedy befell you, calling it a vile, wicked thing. But a sword has no morality of its own. When a righteous master holds a sword, he uses it to protect humanity and strike down demons. But if that very same sword falls into the hands of a demonic master, he will use it to slaughter the innocent and defeat the righteous. So, how can you blame the blade?" He picked up the metal with his tongs. "A sword is just a piece of metal shaped by fire. Yet, it holds the power to save countless lives. Take this one, for instance. This is the general's sword. He commands 1,000,000 soldiers who protect our entire empire, and he guides them using this very blade. This is not an evil sword. It is a force for good. But if a tyrant wields it, it becomes a tool of terror, and its name is tarnished. Do you understand now? A sword is only as good or evil as the hand that holds it." Master O looked gently into Baek's angry eyes. "My boy, if you spend your entire life nursing this burning hatred inside your heart, how do you expect to live? You have a whole life ahead of you. Now, watch closely how I mold this metal. You too must learn to reshape your life into something new." Throughout the long night, Baek kept fetching water, watching the blade go through the grueling process of heating, hammering, and cooling. He didn't fully grasp the deeper philosophy of his grandfather's words, but a small realization began to take root. If he wanted to survive and move forward, he had to let go of the consuming hatred he held for weapons. Listening to Master O's wise words brought back bittersweet memories of Baek's own parents, who had loved him unconditionally. He thought of their warmth, and then his mind drifted back to Raimi. "That little girl, she really cares for me. I think she genuinely likes me," he thought, a faint blush creeping back onto his cheeks. "In just a few weeks, the month will be up. They will come back to collect the sword, and Raimi will be with them. She promised she would come see me," humming a soft tune. Baek walked into the main house, feeling a rare sense of peace, but the moment he stepped inside, his heart plummeted. Master O was lying motionless on the ground. "Grandfather!" Baek screamed, rushing to his side. He desperately carried the frail old man to his bed and ran to fetch the village doctor. After a thorough examination, the doctor pulled a heavy blanket over the unconscious old man and sighed deeply. Baek grabbed the doctor's sleeve, his voice trembling. "Doctor, please tell me, how is he? My grandfather is going to be fine, right?" The doctor pulled a small packet of medicine from his bag. "Dissolve this medicine in water and give it to him morning and night. Will this cure him quickly?" Baek asked, eyes wide with hope. The doctor looked at him with profound sorrow. "No, Baek. This medicine is only to ease his pain. He cannot be cured. His body is entirely spent. He's going to die very soon." Baek froze, his world shattering. What do you mean?" The doctor walked toward the door, pausing to look back. "Master O was a remarkably good man. I only hope that when his time comes, you will give him a peaceful burial, worthy of the beautiful life he lived." With those heavy words, the doctor departed into the night. Shortly after the doctor left, Master O slowly regained consciousness. He painfully sat up in bed, coughing weakly. Looking at his trembling hands, he muttered to himself, "Look at my pathetic luck. I truly believed I had enough time left to finish repairing the general's sword. I wanted that to be my final masterpiece before I closed my eyes for good. But alas, time has run out. I won't survive to see it finished." He looked toward the doorway, his eyes filling with tears. But my heart breaks for young Song Baek. I brought that poor child into my home 2 years ago to give him a family, and now I'm going to abandon him and leave him all alone again. Suddenly, the heavy echoing sound of a hammer striking metal rang out from the adjoining workshop. Someone was hitting a blade with furious, frantic force. Confused and worried, Master O dragged himself out of bed and limped into the forge. Who is working at this hour of the night? When he stepped into the room, he was horrified by what he saw. Baek was swinging the heavy blacksmith hammer with all his might, desperately trying to smash and break the general's sword into pieces. Tears streamed down his face as he struck the metal again and again. "If I destroy this cursed sword, it will all stop," Baek screamed in his mind. "It's all because of this wretched blade. Grandfather ruined his health and fell terribly ill just trying to fix it. First, my mom and dad left me. Then, my own brother abandoned me and ran away. And now grandfather is going to leave me too? Why? Why does everyone I love abandon me and disappear from my life?" Wiping the sweat and tears from his face, Baek swung the hammer one last time, his voice cracking with fierce resolve. "I won't let it happen this time. I won't let anyone leave me again. I will make myself so incredibly strong that no one will ever be able to abandon me, ever again." With Baek's heart-wrenching vow, Episode 8 comes to an emotional end. Will Master O really lose his battle with illness and leave Baek entirely alone? Or is there a different destiny waiting for the broken boy? Find out in the next episode. At the end of the last episode, we saw Grandfather standing in the doorway, quietly watching Baek desperately try to destroy the general's sword. The boy was swinging the heavy blacksmith hammer repeatedly, determined to shatter the blade. Watching Baek in this agonizing state triggered a memory for Grandfather from 2 years ago. When he first found Baek, Grandfather had just returned from a major city after consulting a renowned doctor about his own failing health. The doctor had given him a grim diagnosis. "There is no saving you. Your time is entirely spent. You could pass away in a single day, or perhaps a few, but you cannot survive much longer. You must abandon everything immediately." The doctor specifically ordered him to give up blacksmithing, as the grueling, exhausting labor would only accelerate his death. Leaving the examination room, Grandfather had walked out into the streets with a bittersweet smile, thinking, "Well, I've lived my full life. What's the use in fearing death now?" As he walked a little further, he noticed a young child, Baek, shadowing his footsteps. The boy was starving, shivering, and clearly desperate. Grandfather looked back at him and thought, "Look at this poor child. I may be a dying man, but surely I have enough time left to at least buy this little one a decent meal." Grandfather brought Baek home that day, asking him gently if he was hungry. Looking back, Grandfather realized that welcoming the boy into his home had changed something deep within him. The doctor had given him mere days to live, but as the days bled into weeks and months, the profound void in his life began to heal. For the first time, he felt truly happy. He finally had a grandson, a joy he had never experienced before. Working side by side with Baek, the days seamlessly turned into 2 whole years. He became so entirely immersed in the joy of raising the boy that he completely forgot about his fatal illness. A man who was supposed to be a temporary guest on this earth survived for 2 extra years, but looking at Baek now, Grandfather knew his luck had finally run out. Time had caught up with him. The scene shifts back to the present. Grandfather steps forward into the glow of the forge and breaks the silence, his voice gentle. "My boy, do you truly believe swinging a hammer like that will shatter a blade? A sword does not break that easily." Startled, Baek drops his hands. "Grandfather, you're awake? You shouldn't be out of bed. Your health." Grandfather cuts him off with a weak chuckle, trying to lighten the heavy air. "With all the racket you're making out here, I woke up terrified that a thief had broken in to steal the general's sword. Please, Grandfather, go back and rest," Baek pleads, his eyes brimming with tears. "I will take care of everything out here." Grandfather sits down heavily on a nearby bench. "You shouldn't lose sleep over what that village doctor said. He's nothing more than a simple herbalist, you know. 2 years ago, a much better doctor told me I was going to die. Yet here I am, sitting right in front of you. There is absolutely no need to worry. I am perfectly fine." A wave of profound relief washes over Baek, and a bright smile returns to his face. "Grandfather, I am so incredibly happy to hear that." Grandfather looks deeply at the boy and says, "Now, young man, why waste your energy trying to destroy this weapon? Instead of breaking it, you should finish repairing it. I will sit right here and guide you. I've spent 2 years teaching you the art of the forge. Will you complete this blade for me? I want to see if you can handle the craft under my watchful eye." He settles firmly into his seat, his gaze unwavering. "You are going to finish this sword, Baek. I know you can do it. You know the rules, and you have mastered the basics." Baek blinks in disbelief. "Are you truly serious, Grandfather? You want me to forge this?" "Yes. You," Grandfather says firmly. "How long do you plan on just fetching water and moving tools around for me? The time has come for you to step up. I want you to learn to create weapons with your own 2 hands. Baek looks down at his trembling fingers. But my hands are shaking. How can I possibly do this? Everyone's hands shake in the beginning, grandfather reassures him softly. But I know you have it in you. A surge of pride and hope fills Baek's heart. Will I finally be recognized for my own work? He thinks, deeply moved. He looks up determinedly. All right, grandfather, I will complete this sword. I know every basic step of the forging process. First, the metal must be heated in the furnace until it glows a fiery red. Then, we strike it with the hammer to shape it. And finally, we quench it in water to temper the steel. I know exactly what to do. Grandfather sits quietly in the shadows, watching the boys form, seeing the precision and strength behind each strike. A peaceful smile graces the old man's face. He realizes that Baek doesn't just know the basics. The boy possesses a natural gift. Repairing this blade will be no trouble for him at all. Baek pours his absolute soul into the work, hammering through the dark hours of the night. Meanwhile, grandfather watches him in silent reverence, whispering quiet blessings into the air. My sweet child, it is because of you that I was granted 2 extra years of life. Because of you, I tasted the beautiful joys of grandfatherhood that I always feared I would miss. I got to spend those precious moments with a grandson of my own. As the night deepens, grandfather's head gently slumps forward against his chest. Sitting right there in the warmth of the forge, he peacefully draws his final breath. Absorbed in his intense labor, Baek doesn't notice. He keeps his focus entirely on the metal, swinging the hammer through the night. Finally, as dawn begins to break, Baek delivers the finishing strike. The ringing sound of the metal changes, vibrating with a pure, resonant tone. Baek stops, breathing heavily. He senses that the aura of the metal and the essence of the sword have perfectly merged. The blade is completely restored. I did it, Baek breathes, turning around excitedly. Grandfather, did you hear that ring? Did you hear how perfectly the metal came together? It's completely ready. I successfully repaired my very first sword. He rushes toward the bench, but as his eyes fall upon the motionless old man, the sword slips from his hand and clatters to the floor. The excitement drains from his face, replaced by a cold, suffocating dread. Grandfather is sitting perfectly still, his head bowed. Baek runs over and gently shakes his shoulder. Grandfather, did you fall asleep out here? Grandfather, wake up. You missed the sound. I fixed the sword. Please, wake up. But as he nudges him, grandfather's frail body shifts lifelessly. No, grandfather. No, this can't be happening. Baek falls to his knees, a raw, primal scream tearing from his throat. The first time Baek had ever cried out with this much agonizing grief was when his father died. Now, history was cruelly repeating itself over the loss of his beloved grandfather. All the pent-up resentment, anger, and sorrow inside his chest burst forth in a flood of tears. He screams into the empty room, utterly shattered, completely unable to comprehend how to move forward. Once again, he has been left entirely alone in this world. A month passes by in a flash. The designated day arrives, and the Supreme General returns to the village, accompanied by little Raimi. Raimi is practically bursting with excitement to see Baek again. She leans her head far out of the carriage window, scanning the path. Where is Baek? Father, where is he? I want to see him right now. The general looks at her with a warm smile. Do you truly miss that boy that much, my dear? Yes, father. I miss him terribly, she beams. The general smiles to himself, reflecting on the boy. To be fair, I was quite fond of the lad myself. There is something remarkably distinct and upright about him. The moment the carriage grinds to a halt outside the house, Raimi leaps out and runs through the front doors. Songa, where are you? Big brother, look, I'm finally here. Raimi came back to play with you. Where are you hiding? But as she bursts into the workshop, her voice dies down. Baek is sitting alone in the dim light, clutching the general's beautifully repaired sword. He looks utterly hollow, his face stained with silent tears. Deeply shaken by his grief, Baek leads the visitors to the back of the property. Standing before a freshly dug grave, he quietly informs them that Master O has passed away. At the head of the mound stands a wooden burial tablet. Baek had carved the inscription himself, his neat handwriting reading, "Here lies the greatest blacksmith in the world, a true master of the blade." Seeing the grave, little Raimi bursts into tears. Having already lost her mother, witnessing death touch someone else she cared about breaks her heart. Seeing her distress, her personal guard steps forward, gently guiding her away toward the path. "Young miss, please come back to the carriage with me. I do not think Songa will be able to play with you today. Let us give him some space." He leads the weeping girl away. Once they are alone, General Dongbang Chunu stands before the grave, deeply conflicted. "What should I do now?" he muses. "I came here intending to richly reward Master O for his exceptional service. The man forged a legendary weapon for me, and then put his final energies into repairing it. To think he was fighting a fatal illness the entire time he worked on my blade." The general turns his gaze to Baek, his mind shifting to the boy's uncertain future. He looks at the flawless repair job on his sword, realizing the immense talent the boy possesses. Then he glances at the burial tablet, noting the elegant, educated handwriting. This boy isn't just an exceptionally skilled craftsman, he is highly literate and educated. He possesses true knowledge. The general walks up to Baek, placing a heavy, reassuring hand on his shoulder. Song, Baek, would you like to come with me? If you have no one else left in this world and nowhere to go, you can return to the capital with me. We see Baek stood there, trapped in his own thoughts. Everyone who was ever a part of my life has vanished. One by one. They all left me behind. I never want to experience that agonizing feeling of being abandoned ever again. If I go with this general, what's to stop him from just casting me aside when he's done with me? No, I will not go. I am better off completely alone. Looking up, he bowed respectfully. Thank you so much for your immense generosity, General, but please forgive me. I cannot go with you. Hearing this, the general mused to himself with a trace of disappointment. What a shame. The boy clearly possesses remarkable talent. I genuinely thought taking him in would be beneficial for both of us. Aloud, he simply said, "Very well, young man. Take good care of yourself." As the general turned to walk back to his carriage, little Raimi suddenly rushed forward. She grabbed Baek's hand tightly, tears welling up in her eyes. Baek, please, you have to come with us." Baek blinked, completely thrown off by her outburst. "Raimi, what's wrong? Why are you doing this? Songa, please, you just have to come," she sobbed, tightening her grip. "You are coming with us, and that's final." Seeing her tears, Baek's stubborn resolve completely shattered. He simply couldn't bear to see her cry. Ultimately, he relented, purely for her sake, and agreed to join them. The procession began its journey back to the capital. Baek sat quietly on horseback behind one of the imperial guards, his mind drifting as the scenery blurred past. He had absolutely no idea what the future held for him. He knew the only reason he had agreed to uproot his life was because Raimi had started crying. In my entire life, only 2 people have ever shown me this kind of pure, unconditional affection, Baek thought softly to himself. First my mother, and now this little girl. How could I possibly turn my back on her? I will go with her. He knew with absolute certainty that if Raimi hadn't pleaded so desperately, he would have chosen to stay behind in that empty village forever. "We have arrived," a voice called out, breaking Baek from his thoughts. The guard looked back at him and said, "All right, boy, how long do you plan on sitting up there? Come on, hop down." Baek climbed down from the horse and looked up, completely awestruck. The estate of the Dongbang clan was absolutely massive, a sprawling, majestic palace. As they stepped through the grand gates, rows of servants, along with Raimi's head nanny and various maids, stood perfectly aligned to welcome them home. Raimi immediately ran into her nanny's embrace, who beamed with joy at her safe return, while the rest of the staff chorused in unison, "Welcome back, master." Baek stared at the grand architecture, stunned. "I used to think my family's estate, the Song family residence, was enormous, but this place makes our old home look small by comparison. It is absolutely breathtaking." The head nanny subtly glanced toward Baek and whispered to the general, "Sir, if I may ask, who is this child you have brought back with you?" Before her father could answer, Raimi piped up proudly, "His name is Songa." The nanny frowned slightly, confused. "Songa? But we have never heard of any such boy." The general stepped forward, his voice carrying an unmistakable weight. "I brought this child here myself. He is under my personal protection." The moment those words left the general's mouth, a visible shockwave ran through the servants. They stood completely frozen, exchanging stunned glances, before leaning in to whisper furiously into each other's ears. Ignoring the commotion, the general turned to his trusted right-hand guard. "Moyong, I want you to take full charge of this boy's well-being. From this day forward, he is your personal responsibility. You will oversee his training, his meals, and his education. Everything." Moyong looked surprised. "Sir, are you absolutely certain about this?" "I wouldn't have given the order if I weren't, Moyong," the general replied smoothly. "Do you have an issue with my command?" No, not at all, General." Moyong quickly bowed. "Your word is my law. It shall be done exactly as you wish." With that, Moyong signaled Baek to follow him to the side. Walking away, Baek couldn't help but look back at the whispering servants. Why did everyone look so utterly terrified and shocked the moment the general said he brought me here? What is their problem with me? He walked silently beside Moyong, but the faint murmurs of the staff still echoed across the courtyard. What Baek didn't understand was the sheer political weight of the general's actions. The servants were whispering, "Do you realize what this means? The general has only one child, a daughter. He has no son to inherit his legacy, no male heir to succeed him as the next great general. By bringing a young, educated boy into this household, under his personal wing. He is signaling that this child could very well be groomed as his official successor. The years rolled by in a blur of intense training and changing seasons, and Song Baek grew into a tall, exceptionally well-built young man. One afternoon, Baek arrived at the training grounds to find his commander waiting for him. Moyong frowned, looking at his pocket watch. "You're running quite late today, Baek." Baek caught his breath, adjusting his uniform. "My apologies, General. I was tasked with escorting the young miss back to her quarters. You know as well as I do that my duties as her personal bodyguard take priority." General Moyong chuckled, picking up a heavy training staff. "Fair enough. Tell me, are you ready? Let's see exactly what you've managed to learn over these past few years." He spun the staff gracefully and added, "And honestly, why do you still insist on calling me General Moyong? We've trained together for years. You can just call me brother." Baek cracked a rare, confident smile. "With all due respect, General, I find it easier to maintain discipline that way. Out here, you aren't my brother. You are my commanding officer, and I will address you as such." Moyong grinned. "Have it your way. Now, tell me, is the style you've been practicing for the upcoming martial arts examination fully ready? The competition is right around the corner, and the stakes are incredibly high." "Absolutely," Baek replied, gripping his own wooden staff. "I have completely mastered the intricate techniques of the Kongsalku style. I've been practicing the forms every single day." "Then don't just tell me. Show me," Moyong roared, lunging forward with blinding speed. He closed the distance in a flash, swinging his staff down in a powerful arc. Clack! Baek raised his staff just in time, perfectly redirecting the force of the blow. Unfazed, Moyong fluidly spun his weapon, unleashing a rapid succession of strikes. Baek moved with practiced ease, smoothly countering every single movement. As their weapons clashed repeatedly, Baek noted with a smirk, "General Moyong is using the exact same Kongsalku style against me. He's testing my knowledge of the very technique I just claimed to master." The training courtyard echoed with the sharp cracks of wood meeting wood. Moyong pressed on, his strikes growing faster and heavier. "Let's see how you handle this form, boy." Baek simply smiled, thoroughly enjoying the thrill of the challenge. When General Moyong gets competitive, he always switches to his signature high-level patterns. This is where the real fun begins. Baek executed a flawless defensive sequence from the Kongsalku manual, shutting down Moyong's offensive streak completely. Panting slightly, Moyong stepped back, wiping the sweat from his forehead. A fierce gleam entered his eyes. "Incredible. It seems if I want to break through your guard, I'll have to stop holding back entirely. Dodge this if you can." Moyong began to spin his staff with terrifying velocity, the wood blurring into a solid wall of motion as he charged forward. He stepped inside Baek's guard and unleashed a devastating thrust. The sheer pressure of his movement caused the air to crack like a thunderclap. "Let's see if your textbook forms can withstand the weight of this strike," Moyong challenged. Baek barely managed to throw himself backward, his eyes widening in shock. "Wait a minute, this isn't part of the Salku manual. What kind of forbidden technique is this?" Moyong pressed the offensive, his voice booming across the grounds. "Do you honestly believe that on a blood-soaked battlefield, an enemy is going to restrict themselves to a single, predictable style just to keep it fair? Do you think they care about following training manuals? Absolutely not. The Kongsalku style was taught to you, purely so you could pass a standardized palace examination. To survive a real war, you must master an entirely different realm of combat. In a true battle to the death, no one fights clean. They will use every dirty trick in the book to tear you apart." Moyong's aura flared, his expression hardening into that of a seasoned warlord. "Song Baek, never forget why you were brought into this family. Never lose sight of what you are meant to become." With a roaring battle cry, General Moyong lunged forward, channeling his raw internal energy through his training staff as if it were a deadly iron spear. The sudden surge of pressure was suffocating. "Damn it," Baek thought in a panic. "If I try to block this head on, my weapon is going to shatter." Before Baek could reposition, Moyong thrust his staff forward like a launched projectile. The impact was cataclysmic. Baek's wooden staff instantly splintered into 1,000 pieces, forced onto his back foot. Baek gasped. "This is the legendary battlefield spear technique. He's releasing his actual internal ki, treating a mere wooden staff like a lethal piercing spear." Caught up in the raw adrenaline of the moment, Moyong had completely lost himself to the thrill of the fight, entirely forgetting that this was supposed to be a safe training match. Swept away by his own momentum, he drove forward with a lethal follow-up strike. "Block this, Song Baek," he yelled, lunging with terrifying speed. Baek stood his ground, defenseless, his weapon destroyed. "If I don't counter this right now, I am a dead man." Instead of fleeing, Baek dropped into a deep, hidden stance, preparing to unleash a secret technique of his own. Suddenly, reality snapped back for Mo Yong. A look of sheer horror washed over the general's face as he realized what he had just done. He was in the middle of executing a fatal, high-tier spear technique against an unarmed boy. At this velocity, the move was entirely irreversible. If Baek couldn't dodge it, the strike would pierce his chest and kill him on the spot. "Baek, move! Get out of the way! I can't pull it back!" Mo Yong screamed in absolute desperation. A blinding flash of dust and energy erupted, followed by a deafening explosion that shook the entire training ground. Did Baek manage to successfully deflect this lethal strike, or has tragedy struck the Dongbang estate once again? We will find out in the next episode.